What did I forget? Anybody? Anybody know? Hi, it's me, Scott. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing. Yeah, sure, of course, of course. I'm trying to stream in the new whatever software tech. That's weird. The Twitch embed is different now on Discord than it used to be. It looks worse. So that's a cool update to make that worse. Hi, it's me. I really just want to play Satisfactory, but there's work to be done. Meetings this morning. I have a couple of live streams I'm helping moderate, I guess, later this afternoon. I don't know. I'll be spending a lot of time in front of a camera. So, we do have some hours, and with those hours, we will spend those hours thusly. First, don't say That's the first lesson here. I suddenly feel like, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like the last few weeks... Okay, I'm going to say something that's maybe a crazy thing to say, but I'm going to go on record here in a minute, as soon as we pick some wallpaper. I have a statement to make. About life and video games. And video games as lessons for life. And eclipses. And the Eclipse editor. I don't have anything to say about the Eclipse editor, actually. Snowy sequoias. Is that right? So, wait, that's not what kind of cactus that is it? What's in it? Saguaro, is that what I meant? Sequoia is the tree. Why did I just have some weird... had some insane... Saguaro cactus. Is that what I meant? Weird. Sequoia is the tree. That was a weird... I don't know. My brain still insists that those are... having some sort of strange mental dissonance about the names of cacti versus the names of tall trees. But sequoias are the big, tall Pacific Northwest trees, right? Sequoia. Sequoiadendron giganteum. It's the sole living species in the genus. It's giant redwoods. Why did I think saguaro cactus? Saguaro? Saguaro? I don't know. We're having some difficulties. We're also having some wallpaper difficulties. Saguaro. That doesn't sound right. The word doesn't sound right. Not thrilled about any of these. That's not bad. Any of these wallpapers today aren't really doing it for me. Kind of like that. That gives, this gives me a little bit of nostalgia for a certain time and place. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. This wallpaper again. Okay, wallpaper selections today, not really doing it for me. How am I supposed to give you my life lessons with unsatisfactory wallpaper? I also don't like how much of a delay there is. I feel like we got really lucky the last few times where we just got... Ugh, no. That's almost good. It's just not quite what I need today. It's not bad. We're getting lots of like misty mountains today, and it, you know, the Pacific Northwest is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful environment. One of my favorite things about living in this part of the world, but I don't know, when it's kind of rainy and drizzly and December-y here in Portland, I kind of want something a little different, something a little lush, springtimey, summertimey. It's a pretty picture. Salt? Maybe I just can't be pleased today. That's making me nostalgic for Final Fantasy XI. That's weird. Certain region of plateaus in that game, I think that is evoking. Okay, let's go with this. We're done doing this. Okay, the thing I was gonna say, and I don't really have words for this. This is kind of like one of those weird fuzzy things in my head, but I played an obscene amount of Satisfactory in the last few weeks. It was kind of a thing I picked up over, a few days of Thanksgiving break of like, let's just play some Satisfactory, see how it is. But honestly, in the last couple weeks, I've played over 100 hours of that game somehow. And I think I realized, it definitely tickles a certain part of my particular brain, scratches a certain itch. I did realize maybe part of that is, and part of why I'm so drawn to drawing two-dimensional factories, creating two-dimensional factories, is that there's something about it that does kind of ring the bell of PCB design, which I also enjoy. PCB design, you're trying to get those electrons, route them around here and there, and it's sometimes hard to route them. It's kind of that feeling, a little bit. So anyway, the thing I was going to say is, superficially, somebody might look at a playtime of 100 hours in a game over a matter of truly just a few weeks and say, this is outrageous. And they wouldn't be wrong. It maybe is outrageous. But somehow playing that game has, I feel like, at least today and yesterday I felt this way, kickstarted some kind of motivation to, approach parts of my life with the same, I don't know, recognizing, hey, here's the thing to be accomplished. What do we need to do to get there? Untangle all the pieces. It can be a little messy, but you get it there. So I don't know. I feel like that kind of mental mode that Satisfactory has put me in has actually been kind of productive for other parts of my my working and creative life, which is a weird thing to say. And I think that's it's very easy to view time in a game as a total time sink, total waste of time, but I'm here to tell you, maybe it is, maybe it still is, but maybe it isn't. Okay, so we were working on the broker. I thought I had an idea this morning. I almost had an idea this morning where I thought we could do all of the bookkeeping of how much time an individual server had. I almost convinced myself that we could do that all client side. And we could, if we could always guarantee that a broadcaster was connected. That the broadcaster had a browser window open with the extension active, so they would be sure to receive a message and they would be sure to do the logic required to send the data around. And I think that unfortunately is just not quite the case, although it's almost the case with, there's still one thing I want to investigate, I guess. And maybe this is not, I don't know. This might not be worthwhile, but so yesterday we got pretty far along and then we realized that maybe Cloudflare KV was not going to do the job we needed. And we started building this durable object approach and we just stubbed it in. It doesn't actually store any data or anything. But the thing that I was thinking about is, so we have the issue of validate your business, validate what's going on. When somebody makes a purchase, it goes to the back end. It does it's going to verify that Twitch actually did it. It's going to make sure the transaction was good. And it is going to then tell everybody how much time is available for heat for the channel. And this is only thinking about heat as a purchase for a channel, not as a purchase for an individual, which I don't know, maybe is terrible. I mean, maybe overall that dramatically reduces the number of bits that you could make. Like, I mean, obviously, financially, that's a real thing to consider. Is like, oh, you made this thing where one person is going to turn it on per minute for the whole channel, and so you make like what, $1, versus if you had 100 people in your chat and they were all doing it and all trying to spend bits. I mean, maybe the solution there is you get really crazy with the amount of time that's added. Maybe it's even dynamic or something. Like as more people are adding, the price goes up. That gets a little crazy, but or the duration goes down. I don't know. But the thing I just want to investigate just a little bit is, as part of extensions, Twitch does offer a configuration service. This is not what we want. We want the there's some kind of configuration service that you can basically store things, at least, I believe, on the Twitch side. But now I can't remember what that's called. And you would kind of think that it would just be okay, using the configuration service. The configuration service enables you to store persistent per channel and per extension data and have it provided to your front end on extension startup. With the configuration service, you can quickly support scenarios like enabling broadcasters to customize your extension, storing user IDs to call third-party APIs from your EBS. Note that this information becomes public when it is stored. All data is sent to extension views by anonymous users. Notifications for to retrieve it. Saving extension-wide settings. Most importantly, with the configuration, you do not need to expose your EBS to the extension front end on initial load, eliminating the need for your EBS to scale to support that scenario. In some cases, you can build an extension without an EBS just by using the configuration service. You choose whether to use the configuration service in the capabilities section, etc., etc. So the thing I just wanted to kind of consider is there any possibility of us storing useful information in the configuration service? So for example, if we decided this business, the thing we're trying to do is trying to set per channel purchases, which financially is maybe a terrible idea, but it's certainly easy. And there's arguments to be made for why it might be good. You choose whether to use the configuration service in the capability section of extension management on the developer site. Set extension configuration segment. So is this a... This is what I was wondering about. So you could, from out here, can you get an extension configuration segment? Get extension channel configuration. It's the developer and broadcast configures for a specified channel. Each channel can be retrieved at most 20 times per minute. So that's, they deliberately throttle this because they probably don't want you to do the thing that I was just considering. Okay, I think we can't. I think we don't go this route. There's something a little bit tempting here, which is to try to use Twitch as our data store instead of having to manage that ourselves. But I don't know. Doesn't quite feel right. There's still a very real possibility I will just abandon all of this. But for this week, for some reason, it's still vaguely interesting. Okay, so where we left off? So we can send our pub sub dude. So everybody, we haven't actually verified this, but everybody should get this. So the helper. We should, and maybe this is a Kyle, how's it going? Yeah, I think we might be a little late to that game. We might be a little late to the now, though we could say it costs 1,000 bits to enable heat for the whole channel, right? Like you could. So it's only for whales. I don't know. Kyle, how are you today? Welcome to where we are. What is this called? Software and game development. A really exciting. Let's see. How much of a ghost town is this compared to science and tech? Probably terrible. Is there a place to see all channels? Okay. Anyway, so if we did science and tech, science and technology currently has 2.2K viewers and 655K followers. Software and game development. Ooh. I mean, the viewers, you know? The followers is way lower, but maybe that's just because it's new. What's funny is science and technology is not marked as creative. Kyle, you're an inspiration. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. So, top, just out of curiosity, viewers high to low, viewers high to low. So top view, there's 500 people watching this bird box, 500 people watching this. But as far as an actual stream of people doing stuff, looks like 270. I mean, yeah, most, it just drops off. It just tanks. There's people in the 20s and 30s. Over here, okay, well, we know we're in the right place because Lana Lux is over here doing stuff. Don't really know what's going on here. I'm seeing more in the 50s. Curious, like, yeah, I don't know. The thing I do know is I want to start doing this and making my screen smaller in the window because obviously that is a pro move. And that is a thing that pros do. Okay. And we have a little crown to click here that says something. Okay, so the thing I think we want to try, let's just try this. Except it's going to be annoying because this is so stupid. We're going to have to unhost our assets. Right? Assets must be unhosted. To do the thing that I want to do. What is it? What is it? Twitch developer dashboard? I can't find it. My console. It's called a console, not a dashboard, of course. Okie dokie. So we've got to go to Heat, and we've got to go to this development version of Heat, and we have to move this back to a local test. Which probably means that we've broken Heat on the channel. So let's briefly see about that. And regular old Heat, let's activate as overlay one. Okay. Hopefully we have heat. Who can say, really? And now we're back to local, which means we can't test the... So stupid. We can't actually test transactions. It's asinine, but whatever. Really, really bad developer experience. Twitch API is like a whole buffet of bad developer experiences. So now we want the heat front end. So what we want to do here, I forgot to do something important. We want to try to do this on listen thing. Not exactly clear whether I should add these listeners inside. I don't know. Let's just try it. Okay, so we need a twitch.listen. Broadcaster global. I think we're doing broadcast. No. Looks like it's actually this. And then there's a callback function. What does the callback get? This function binds the callback to listen to the target topic. Callback with 3 arguments: target, content type, and message. Oh. Where do you think Kyle went? What, Christmas shopping for me? So that sort of looks like a thing that you might believe works. Does this clear this? Okay. This is going to be broken, right? I mean, it almost... When I click the button, what do we do? Wait, how did we do this? We made the stupid UI button. Then what did we just cram that in here somewhere? Yes, UI. We crammed it in here, I see. So we logged the product, we called use bits, but we're gonna get an error, right? It's 401 error because it's a bad API. It's not a useful error, but that's fine. Okay, so the thing we want to try, I believe, is the following. So we need to go to the old heat miser and do one of these. How did this even work? We're not even hosting. Wait, this can't be right. Refresh manifest, update, extension views, run front end. Okay, we weren't even running the front end. So this should be the updated, this should be local business. So if we do that, what happens? Okay, that is weird news. I think I can never find the window I want. So I think we don't actually want to do most of this stuff in here. I think a lot of the stuff that we did in the unauthorized is not appropriate. Let's just try it all outside. I think that's not going to work. But it seemingly did. Because I wasn't authorized, but like, still, I guess the promise I don't know, man. The promise happens. So that is working. That is not really working, but it, you know, sort of looks like a thing that works. So let's try this. We're going to do this pub sub thing. Why would we get it twice? Can you think of a reason that we would receive this message 2 times down here? Just to verify. 1 click, we get it twice. So listen. We're connecting. This is local. This is a local connection. Let's just. I really wish you could clear this. In fact, I hate that you can't clear it. Let's see. Yes, good. Clear terminal. Good grief. Seriously? Can I, like, bind that to control U, control L, something saying? Okay. Don't like that. I'm sure we can bind a key to it. Wait, it's back. Didn't I just clear this terminal? You tell me if I resize the window, it unclears? Awesome. Very good. So, let's just... I'm confused why we would get this twice. So we do this once. We only see this... Why would we get that twice? Okay, let's look on the front end. Are we doing anything weird here? All we're doing is saying, hey, Twitch. I'm going to comment this out just to make sure that's the code that's actually running. Refresh all views. Clear this. Oh, wait, do we have 2 windows? Yes, that's probably all it is. Let's move this. That's probably all it was. Very silly, but I think that's the issue. 2 windows equals 2 messages. They don't teach you that in school. Okay. So we can send data, which is good news. We'll take a quick bathroom break, and we'll come back, and we're going to just make this all happen. That's the wrong button entirely. Wow, impressive. I forgot what the shortcut was for this. So let's just click over here. Hi friends, it's me again. Me, Scott. I don't know. I still don't know if I like any of this, but we're doing it. So we're going down this path. Maybe we follow the path. I actually just realized there is kind of a so we're building this right now with the like primary use case of people being able to buy heat for the whole channel versus people buying heat as an individual. We're using the webhooks coming in, which I frankly make me nervous. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I would feel a little better. Um, it's actually just crazy to me that in the as part of the transaction, there's no like Twitch just charges you the money and then tells me that the transaction happened. Like it doesn't actually make sure that I could do the work. And I don't think there's a way to do that. Which is pretty weird. It doesn't feel great, but let's just keep barreling forward. So we know, so this is pretty convoluted, but basically the way it works right now is someone would click this button. Twitch is stupid, so I can't actually click this button, but I can pretend click the button at least and send a fake click. And I can get that over here, which is basically what would have come through the real web service. So that's all fine. So in other words, another way of putting that maybe a little more succinctly is when someone spends bits, I know that on my backend. And the way I chose to do that is that Twitch tells me directly that information doesn't come from the person that spent bits. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't really know. Anyway, that message comes in and we go through a lot of trouble to verify that it was in fact Twitch that sent us the message. And then we look at the message and we try to figure out what's going on. Sometimes those messages are, I mean, the type varies. In fact, I'm not actually even checking to make sure the event is the event that I think it is. So that is probably a thing we should do, right? We should make sure that the event how do we know the type of event it is? That's a subscription. Is that all we know? Is like what the, like basically I want to know that this is what I'm being told about. So I guess I check that in the subscription, not in the event. I kind of would have assumed that it would also, or there'd be something in the event that I could check. Okay, well, so we can say if, basically, if it's a notification, and then in here, if subscription dot type is equal to this business, meaning, you know, because maybe we'll support more of these, maybe not for this project, but if that's true, then all of this is so much crap. All of this only happens if you have done that thing. How you spell extension transaction handling. Okay, so cool. That seemingly still works. So when that comes in, we do, this is what we had started, like checking on the status of the channel, like what's going on with the channel. And then we do this nightmare, this actual nightmare, this literal nightmare to just try to sign our stupid token so we can talk to Twitch. And then, so we're going to go through all of this nonsense, and we're going to send Twitch this information. So this is what we're sending right now, which, you know, is gibberish at the moment, but presumably at some point it will not be gibberish. So I hate that we have to escape this, but whoa, that's fine. Maybe there's some method for that. And then we build it and we send it here. So again, the transaction comes in, we do our processing of the transaction, and then we separately broadcast information to everybody to show the right remaining time. Now, that was a lot of trouble, potentially a lot of trouble for something we could have done just by having an HTTP request. Like click, oh boy, it's where we could have just clicked and sent, you know, basically the same way we do with heat. We would have just clicked and we would have sent the data, and we would have gotten the data directly back. And it would have been probably 12 hours less work. That's not true, because we still would have to broadcast to everybody. So we need this to be able to broadcast to everybody. We kind of have to do this. This isn't ideal for like an individual trying to make a purchase. This is a silly way to do it, because you'd be broadcasting if one person made a purchase for themselves, you'd be broadcasting that to everybody, which maybe you still want to do. Maybe you do. Okay, but we do have to do this way for the channel-wide thing. This is required. So it wasn't a total waste of 12 hours. Maybe. I guess we still, in theory, could have done it with that configuration service, but that's pretty rate limited, it would seem. So let's just move forward with this as the right way to do it. So what do we actually want to try to accomplish here? We need to do excuse me, this thing, which I'm a bit hazy on, frankly. We really made this up, you know. I mean, as far as like how we want to get this data inside of our channel object, that's going to be our data store, basically. If we had KV, we would not need to do any of this. So, but KV just feels like it's not going to be reliable. So we made up this URL in this host, and it's dumb looking. We could send the channel ID and the SKU in there. We could just send the entire request, is another thing we could just do. Like just send the whole request in there. That's probably actually the thing to do. rather than make this fake request with all this fake nonsense, let's just send the real request. Can we do that? I think we probably can. Like, it's, in other words, don't do this. Just send the real request. We may not be able to. Like, after we have done, there's some weird, like, Heisenberg issues here where, like, if you observe parts of the quest, it will be angry with you if you try to use it again. But let's just see what happens. We could clone that request if we needed to. Just feels, I don't know, this like manufacturing the fake request is not feeling super great. Okay, cannot clone body after it is used. Yeah, so what we'd have to do is and we're gonna send the clone of the request in. This doesn't feel great, but I think it feels better than the fake protocol thing. So that means inside. Gosh, I mean the other option is we just do all of this in the channel object, but I kind of don't want to. Kind of want to only use the channel object as a data store. But let's just try some stuff here. So what do we actually do with this body? Why do we need that? We need it as text. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's do this. Basically, I just want to do this same thing, and inside here, I'm not 100% certain of this. I will say. Basin. Like, we'll just send that request in, and then the response is going to be whatever. Like, that's fine, right? We don't have to return. So this is the body of the request that we got. So everything we need is in here. We already had to extract the channel ID and the SKU. We didn't have to, actually, did we? I think we did have to extract the channel ID. We did need to know that. But we could get it from the response, like from the direct object response could give us back that, but yeah. That's just going to be silly. This will be response. Let's do this as JSON. And then in here, you know, whatever. Something like that. Perhaps. Although we know that the channel ID, actually, that's a real thing. You don't need to make that up. How about that? Nice and tidy. So we handle the notification, we get this back. Bob's your uncle, as they say. Although I think I deleted a bunch of notes that I actually really wanted to keep. What did I do with all these important notes? We want this. So this is what we need to do. That's our little step-by-step recipe. So we need documentation for the durable objects store. Stores the value in association with a given key. The value can be any type. So we need a get. Any examples of this? I assume it's a promise. Oops.
Is this a commitment by someone to do or not do something? As a noun, promise means a declaration.
Why did Siri feel the need to define promise for me? Okay, so let's say equal channel ID. If we don't have a current expiration, or how do you do this? Can we do that somewhere else in here? Yeah. Floor date now. I do it correctly? Is less than now. So this means it's either expired or it doesn't exist. So value exists and is expired. Add time to now. But I think what I'm going to do instead is, just so we can really track these, maybe not. This is actually going to be like previous. Okay, so if previous expiration doesn't exist, add time to now. So basically expiration will equal now plus, what do we say? Let's just add 60 seconds. Else, value exists and is not expired, add time to this. So expiration equals previous expiration plus 60. You know? I'm going to break this into 3 conditions just to make it a little easier to test. And allowed for channel. Else I don't know. The way to do this. So adding time to expiration for a channel. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So we should have awaited this. No expiration found for channel. So that should always happen right now because then let's just make it 5 seconds for now. Okay, so we should always just add. So now we have to actually store this value. So now we need a. How does a put work? But a put doesn't return anything? Let's try this. So let's do an await, put this dot state dot storage dot put channel ID with expiration. Something like this. So we did it once. Now there should be an expiration. Adding time to expiration for channel. But if we wait for 5 seconds, then that should have elapsed. And we should get an expiration elapsed for channel. Expiration elapsed. But if we keep doing this, we're just adding time. You can see we're adding 5 seconds at a time. So this seems like sort of correct. And we should all the while be receiving fun information over here. It's not useful in any way, but it's there. So now, if target equals broadcast and content type equals application JSON, data equals JSON dot parse the message log data. Okay, it should be the same basically. Uh-oh. Not console. This is gonna break because the stupid developer rig gets very upset when you do that. So this is silly, but we're gonna parse it and then we're gonna immediately JSON to stringify it, just to verify that we're getting it in here. This is dumb. It's dumb. Don't do that. But just supposed to be a quick test. Didn't work. Why? Oh, because it's Twitch.rig. That's true. No? Oops. Okay, it's working, but... Okay, just making mistakes. Okay. So we're getting the thing. Right? We get the data. We log the data. Now, what we actually want to send is the channel ID and the expiration time. I think. I mean, for the moment, let's just do that. I don't... It was a weird statement. So I can't just stringify it, right? That's not good enough. That'll break the master JSON. Is there not... I don't want to write an escape thing. Is there not just some method that will do this? No, no, no. Oh, this is what it does. Well, I hate it. Okay, so what do we actually do here? So we, you know, we get the channel data from here. And so then the thing we need to do, I guess, is just take the channel data and we'll just, this is dumb, but what did we call it? Expiration? Channel ID. This is gross. It's gonna be even grosser to have to concatenate this. Don't like it. Don't like that one bit. Is there really not a non-dumb way to do this? I mean, all we really are expecting are the quotes, right? So if it was, are we in a scope where a message already exists? So this is gonna break, right? Somewhere. Wait, why didn't it break? Oh, I guess in the stringify of the thing, it automatically did it? Is that possible? Inside the pub sub. Our body. So it already escaped it. Great, good, because I definitely didn't want to. Let's just do this. Okay, I don't know. I feel like my whole plan here is very, I won't say half-baked, we'll say lightly toasted. Okay, so we get data for whatever that's worth. For whatever that's worth. Kyle, I'm gonna complain to you. Where's Kyle? I have a complaint to lodge. I'd like to file a complaint. I need like a quick little break. Because there's definitely a part of me that feels like we're beating up the wrong tree. So let's just take a nice little break. Look at some tool deals. It's on sale. I think I missed a sale on something I was really considering yesterday. I bought some of those screws because I am apparently a sucker for fasteners. So there is a $10 off 50. So if we spent 50 bucks, we get 20% off. But there's not I mean, I do want an impact. Still, I still see the one I want, you know? Brand outlet. Power tools. Like, I mean, this is really a pretty great price on this. I just want the longer. It's just not quite the kit that I want. And is this 3/8 and a half, no quarter? Maybe because maybe they think quarter inch drives or quarter inch sockets would explode. But it doesn't say what's the size of those. Yeah, there's a quarter to 3/8 and am I just missing something? Is there a reason that the thing I want doesn't exist? It's possible. Like, there's other kits that have the longer bit holder, and it just like this, and this is $20. It feels better to me. I mean, aside from having a lot more stuff, I don't really need the drill bits. I only use drill bits in the impact driver, really. This only comes with one adapter. I like. I mean, is that the same size? Maybe it is. Maybe it's exactly the same size, and I'm just not the same size as this. Maybe it's the same. And that comes with the 3/8. What am I? Pretty sure these pockets I have here are. Those are quarter for sure. So I kind of want. But maybe there's a reason you don't do that. Maybe there's a reason I'm not seeing. Maybe it's a terrible idea. This is a deal right here. That kind of looks like a quarter inch, right? In there. So why did these Milwaukee friends not? Cute little Craftsman one. What does this have to do with the Twitch API? Nothing. There is a deal at Home Depot that comes with this thing that I'm kind of tempted by. I just want a quarter inch socket adapter. But is that just a terrible idea? Are you just not? Is that a thing you shouldn't do? Might be a terrible idea. The zoom on this is a little questionable. Is that just the wrong image? It would appear to be. All the stuff that comes in this. I don't need this. Okay, like... There's just so much stuff here I don't really need, you know? Okay, well that's enough looking at that for now. I feel a little better. Okay, we just have to look at physical tools that are good instead of all these terrible JavaScript tools that are always bad. Like, basically guaranteed to be bad. So, we can get this over here now. What do we even want to do with this? Do I even really like this idea that I've now spent, I don't know, 10 hours on, 12 hours on? This idea of, you click the thing, somebody adds time to heat. So if we did this now, it would be expired, right? And so we would get the adding time. Is there a way to see UTC date and Windows? Why are you so stupid, Windows? Why are you so bad? Whatever, just give me a website that shows you time. Five. Yeah. All right, so that's adding 5 seconds. We can keep doing it. And I got 5 seconds. So, well, what does this actually do for us? Ugh. We have an animation frame that just shows the timer on the screen. So we have request animation frame just looping, watching for an event that comes in that says, hey, heat has time. What a pain in the butt. This is all a pain in the butt. I don't know if this is a good idea. Kyle, how did you talk me into this? Because Kyle actually uses Twitch, so. What do we need to do? Why can't you do that, I guess? I don't know. We should just stop this, get back to something sensible like satisfactory. It's really a project I should work on tomorrow. I'll consider it. Okay, so I mean, what do we really want to do here? Just like start a Animate. Excuse me. So, like, what are we doing? Um, let's stick a timer in here for kicks. Also make the timer. Uh-oh. Okay, that would be really weird if that broke. Course animation frame shouldn't block. I don't want to. Oh gosh, formatting time in JavaScript sucks. Pain in the butt. Okay, so oops. Nailed it. Why does that typeface seem so weird? Okie dokie. So basically we just want to say in the course animation frame, I mean, I don't even know what happens if you add hours to this. I really don't know. But let's just do it isn't even a module, it's just expiration, right? So that is annoying. We would have to query. If we do things this way, we would need to when you join, you would need to query to make sure that you get so when the expiration comes in, that's actually kind of a problem. I'm not crazy about that. So, for example, this is very sloppy. I'm not crazy about it. Not at all. But we could keep doing this, and we keep adding time, and you can see as more people make the purchase, it'll just go up in seconds, and we could add so many seconds, and you know, we could format it, which nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do that, right? Oh, but I guess we'll write it. But the issue is if I refresh, even though there's actually 73 seconds, if I refresh, it's going to show 0. So that does mean, so that is a reason it would be nice to use the extension configuration service. Okay, let's just consider that one more time, because the reads were throttled, but are the writes throttled? And I don't think you actually get excuse me, I don't think you actually get updates. What's that thing called? That's the thing called this thing. So you can use the set. Excuse me. I don't really understand the difference between segment and set extension configuration segment, get channel configuration. But set extension required. But I don't think this really does much for us. So the thing that would be nice about this is that we could set this we could set this there's kind of no way around it. You had to query. So the issue being, like, so just to demonstrate the problem, we can add time here, and if we add time here and we're connected, we'll get that time. If I add a bunch of time here and we're up and it's valid, you know, there's time on the clock, we refresh views, it's all 0. If I add time again, we'll see the total. But it has to be there to, like, whatever word you want to use. Initialize, bootstrap, whatever. It has to be there when a new person connects. And so that's the point of this extension configuration service. So it almost is good. Like, it almost could be useful. But I think it's not useful. Almost could be useful, but isn't useful. Almost, but isn't. So what do we do about it? Is Heat actually working, by the way? Appears to be working. I'm gonna refresh this window. So what do we do? What do we want to do? Segment is limited to 5K. What's the right answer? I'm kind of leaning almost back to having a separate extension for this. Just because it's annoying enough that maybe it should have a set. We haven't even talked about how how heat itself would be able to talk to this. What do you do, everybody? I mean, it's another. It really would be nice to manage that through the broadcaster in some way. Okay, let's just talk through it for a second. The issue here, if we did this, then anybody joining would have the updated thing. It's not really the way you're supposed to use this, but. Yeah. I mean, it even specifically calls out that it's good to use, excuse me, so that not every single person joining hits the backend server, which we would kind of want to avoid, you know? But maybe we just kind of have to. That is in some ways like the easy answer. We just put a get handler, and all it does is get the current value anytime someone joins the channel. That just gets scary if it's a big channel and you have thousands of people joining and leaving all the time. Like, ugh. I don't really see a right way around it. I still am not convinced that any of this is a good idea. We may scrap all of this. You'd maybe have a similar, you'd have a similar issue if it was just a person, even if it's a channel, because an individual person would need to be able to come back and say, like, hey, am I valid? Will you validate me? So what it would look like in here is when this happened, instead of doing this, like, I mean, it would basically be this. If it was event sub, but you did a get instead. You would pretty much be this. You'd have to put the channel ID in the path name, probably. Excuse me. And then you'd sort of have to do this same business. You just wouldn't add time. You don't really need a JWT in this case. I guess you could send the token and only let Twitch people talk to you. But it would pretty much be this. Excuse me, please. And then I guess you just return this actually. Be something kind of like that. And then inside here, we'd have to check the method inside the channel object, which probably needs to not be called channel object, but something like that. Channel ID. You don't care about this here. You only care about it down there. Right? Like inside here. If it's a get, we get the channel ID. We'll not worry about her checking her at this minute. And we will just do a this. And this. Something like that. Wait, did we say it had to be an event sub? Oh yeah? So we get that, and this is what's currently in there. And it could be nothing, I guess. Like, and we just don't even get that. So the idea would be that somewhere in here, unauthorized or whatever. I don't know if there's a better initialization place to do it, but be something like this. Let's just do that wrong every time, just for consistency. Of course it is. Why does this work? Method post headers. Add a body. So what's wrong? I think we the real project knows how to deal with that, right? We just send those headers. I don't know if it's hitting us with the options thing. You know, up here. Or do we just return this to everybody? Or do we even care? Can we just do no cores, or does that break everything? Yeah, that's not what we want. So we need to is this good enough? I don't know if we're gonna get hit with this. I don't remember. So we just gotta respond with those headers when we do this thing too. Right? So what broke that time? Oh, it's probably the Streamify. It used to be a really simple page. Okay. I think that'll work. Huh? My mistake. Okay, we get it when we refresh. And so when refreshing, we can, you know, set expiration to whatever. So now, in theory, if we do this and we add some time, we see time come up on the clock. And if we refresh, we get that updated time. It just means that every single person joining the channel hits that service, which is not great. Don't love that. But I don't know how else to do like channel-wide support. I don't know. How did I let Kyle talk me into this? Uh-oh. Is that an important message? We can have the list this week, huh? Let's take a look at that. Let's take a gander. What is the name of the company, though? We want the analog. What do we got here? Would be kind of cool to get some FPGA boards, right? Fun. I don't know what a CMOD. What does CMOD mean? This Pro bundle looks good. I don't really know anything about their FPGA trainer board. Well, this cute little FPGA. I have no hands-on experience with an FPGA. Analog Discovery Pro. Analog Discovery Pro line. This is how fancy this is. Probably costs a lot, right? Look at this Analog Discovery. I want that. I want that. Probably costs a whole lot, right? It's gotta cost a lot. $900. cool though. So it's a USB scope, but this doesn't have the logic testing. It's cute. Something weird about showing oscilloscope. Okay, I was gonna say, like, you gotta kind of plug this into something, right? Interesting. Okay, so what were we doing? We can resume time now. I really don't know. I don't know what I want to do about this. I feel like I have to have a meeting of the minds with Life is Yours, Draklin, Kyle, and Binary, my board of directors. So, like, the pieces are in. You can pay some money. Somebody can pay some money. Everybody looking at the channel should get time added. Okay, the pieces aren't fully in, of course, because we would have to heat itself, which this is a bit sucky. But heat itself would need to know the data. Like when the clicks come in, obviously we don't want to do that client side because people could circumvent it. Unless, let me think about this for a second. I think I hate this thing I'm about to say, but let me just think about it. I was gonna say we could send JWT to the users, and they would use our JWT to send the clicks. That's kind of an interesting possibility. So basically, when we do the pub sub, we would send a JSON web token, and then that would be I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty torn on this. Would people actually do this? I kind of agree with Kyle that it's more likely that people would want to buy it for the channel. Kisses, eternal kisses. This is broken. It should work. It's essentially doing this. I mean, there's certainly a lot of, oops, glue that still needs to be done. A lot of connective tissue that's missing. The biggest thing being that at the time of processing the click, that heat is able to validate that the channel I mean, we really could do that. Is that actually the right way to do it? So when you get this payload, you get a JWT, and it's signed by us, and then if you have one of those, you use it. If you don't, you use the Amazon one. But I think that doesn't actually make sense. Doesn't quite make sense. Cyberpunk 2077 is on sale. $50% off. Still seems maybe not not a bargain. I don't know. I feel like I just want to chat through this. I'm gonna need like a voice chat. Meeting of the minds. I mean, it kind of really does require that good content to do stuff with, but that was weird. Oh. But I got a 401. What? Hmm. I don't know. I'm hesitant to proceed because I don't really want to mess with proper heat at the moment because it's working. But just to think about what that would mean, it would mean somewhere in here where we do all this verification. We'll check in the payload. Somewhere in here, we would have to verify that the channel was clickable, basically. Like, as this came in, maybe we could look straight at the real direct object. I'm not sure about that. Like, could we bind it? Could we bind it to the durable object used by the other? We'd be hitting it a lot. We'd be hitting it so much because the thing that's tricky you have to know if a channel is even trying to be monetized. So that has to be checked. Like, is the channel even trying to be monetized? And if not, then the click just goes through. If it is being monetized, you have to check and see either is there time on the clock for the whole channel, or if we do the individual user thing, are individual users does this individual user have access? Which I kind of even want to think about right now, even though it does really seem like that is a real imbalance of potential funds there. But I guess it's always only a few people spending money anyway, so I don't know. It's a pretty weird problem. Like partially a marketing and economics problem, but the technical problem is the technical problem is how do we deal with monetization? Like, how do we deal with these verification steps? It's got to be like it's kind of like a two-stage thing. I mean, it could be one query, and that one query could tell you either that channel doesn't monetize, which is another thing we have to set. We have to set that somewhere, but we have a place to put it. I guess that's not too terrible. It really is just like the query. It's slightly more complicated, but it really is just kind of the query we just added. That we just where when the click comes in, we ask the broker, either through the broker server or directly through that channel object, but we say, hey, tell me about this channel. If this channel doesn't require monetization, then it's no problem. Like, we're all good. If the channel does require monetization, tell me, is there time on the clock or whatever. If there was KV, if we had KV access, I kind of feel like this would be easier, but anyway, it can be a single query. It just slows down every single click because every single click requires an additional check. We already have so much stuff that we have to do. We have so much checking. We have so much like bookkeeping per click. Not even bookkeeping. We're not really storing anything. We just have so much validation per click that it's a little concerning, let's say. I mean, it would kind of be another question, like another question. I mean, we got so many ifs, so much validation. Okay, well, I need to think about it more, I think. So I think we're gonna only stream for 2 hours today instead of 7 trillion hours like we have for the rest of the week. But yeah, we just need to think about it a little more. The pieces are there, the like rough sketches there. It's just the issue of actually making it work, I think, is going to take some thought and care. So I got stuff to do this afternoon. Maybe I'll stream some Satisfactory later. I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. Kyle, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk next time. Bye.